Hello, my beautiful beings. Welcome back to the Beaming Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about doing the next right thing and really finding fulfillment within your routine and just really embracing the ebbs and flows of your creative passions and really trusting your gut and your intuitive guidance on what you're supposed to do within this life. This has been coming up for me a lot lately within conversation, especially within my sacred healing sessions, because my life's path, everything that I have manifested and have been able to experience at this point in my life is a really long time coming. When I was in the beginning of my healing journey, I had no idea what I wanted to do or who I wanted to be or what even was within the trajectory of my projected life path. And when I would think about the future, it would actually give me a lot of stress and anxiety because I didn't know how to gain that type of life or what steps I needed to do to get there necessarily. And I really had to sit in deep gratitude with this because I think having so many entrepreneurs around me and so many older friends, it helped shape the trajectory of my life and assisted me in making better choices for myself. And one piece of advice that I received from a lot of the books, podcasts, and conversations I would have with people that were older than me, that were entrepreneurs on their own regard, was to really pour myself into my creative passions while in my 20s. I wanted to make sure that I knew what I wanted to do and what I was passionate about. And when you're creative and you have a lot of interests, you sometimes can naturally excel at a lot of things more than the average analytical person because you have a creative spark. If you've ever seen the movie Soul, when he's in the zone, he gets lost in it. And for me personally, I had that within a lot of different pools in my creative arsenal, if you will. And I really wanted to explore these. I didn't want to live my life with regret. I got laid off from my legal administrating position at the time. It was like right coming out of COVID. I did Super Bowl with Shakira. That was amazing. And I just got kind of tired of working from behind a desk. I wanted to just experience life to the fullest extent. I think Super Bowl and COVID really made me realize that I didn't want to continue on as a professional dancer. I felt like there was more in my creative pools that I wanted to look into. Then I got into esthetician school because at the time, one of my best friends was a lash tech. And in order to open up a business, we needed an esthetician license. And I had the time and I was like, I'll just go back and get it. So I went back, got my esthetician license. That school got bought out by a cosmetology company or something. So it turned in from just being an esthetician school into a full-fledged cosmetology school. So I realized I liked doing nails. And coming out of COVID, I had to learn how to do my nails because the girl was not walking out without a fresh set. Okay. So I learned how to do nails. I got my manicure license while I was doing that. And then while I was in school, my sound healer that I would go get sound baths at started a certification program. So I was like, oh my gosh, what a cool thing to do. And I joined that. I was also doing lashes at my esthetician's facial shop out in Woodland Hills. Shout out Monique, Birds of Paradise. Absolutely love her. She's the one, not the two, especially for melanin skin. She's just great for corrective skincare. Love her. Mo, love you so much. Appreciate you for every part of my journey. Yeah, so Diani, she started a certification program and I went and I just fell in love with those instruments and I just really found a calling to sound healing. And you know what's crazy? When I would sit down with my healer Alta during our sessions in the beginning of my journey, I always used to tell her, like, I'm in awe of you. I don't know how you do this. Like, I don't know how you have the bandwidth to, really be a solid listener to people and help people figure out their emotions and hold so much loving, unconditional space. I was always so amazed by her within that. Even to this day, she amazes me with her work. Like, she's just so beautiful. And when I found sound healing and I started doing this literally in my living room, okay? Seven was there, okay? I realized that I had this profound love for it because it was a way to heal people without having to be like super in front of it. Because they're sleeping, right? A sound bath is a tranquil acoustic experience where you're guiding people into tranquility in a safe environment. And that was something that was super beneficial to me at the time because I wasn't ready to correspond with people. I wasn't ready to converse and hold space for emotions. I was still figuring my emotions out, but I would try it with people here and there, give discounts, just really figure out what I wanted to do within my business, creating my business. And then within conversations about yoni eggs and things of that nature, I realized that there was something within that that I could offer. And then eventually my business just turned into what it is today. And I say this all to say it's so important to explore your creative interests because money grows where passion flows. And my friends would tell me this all the time in the beginning of trying to figure out my life's path and my career. And I didn't really understand it as much as I do now, especially now I'm really getting full circle within some of the hard work that I've put in for the last 3 years. I started my business 3 years ago, and it's crazy because three is my lucky number, and I'm really experiencing the fruits of my labor, and it is just such an incredible feeling. And I know it's only up from here. And I'm only giving you guys like a dime of everything that I've done. Okay. You name it, I've done it. Expensive lessons. Nana, I'm sorry. I just really had to figure myself out. I knew that first and foremost, coming out of college, my healing journey and understanding the depths of my soul and what I ebb and flow through was super, super important. But more than anything, I really needed to have passion towards what I was working for. Because when I was a legal administrator, as much as I love to negotiate and as much as I love the legal side of things and my analytical side of things, I knew my creative was so much brighter. It was just taking over me. Like what I do for a living now is what I was born to do. I eat, breathe, sleep it. Okay. Like I love what I do for a living. However, I honor my analytical side and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change what I went through within all of my analytical experiences because if it wasn't for that and those personal assistant jobs, legal administrator jobs, social media manager jobs, I wouldn't be the business owner that I am today. How I show up has a lot to do with what I learned on that side of things. And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think one thing that comes up for me a lot is how I did it and how I continue, right, to do it. Let's talk present day, right? So I think one thing within starting a business, and keep in mind, I've only been doing it for 3 years, okay? I got so much more learning to do. Let's start with that disclaimer, is that I have found for me personally that one, I have a really good ability of multitasking and organizing my calendar and my schedule. That is one of my superpowers, genuinely. I can do a lot within a day, okay? Sometimes it's a little too much, but hopefully that changes as I grow in what I'm doing and the billionaire that I know I'm gonna be, okay? She on the way, she on the way. But I say that to say having the duality of my business, but also something that's concrete and reliable has been revolutionary to my state of being in present day reality because regardless of how my beaming business ebbs and flows, I have something that I'm passionate about that I love to do that complements all my interests that is steady and reliable. That is so, so important. And if it wasn't for my legal administrating positions, my personal assisting positions, my social media management jobs, I wouldn't be able to do this and to do this. Okay. Like, and that's the superpower of being a woman. We are capable of multitasking. So do a little bit of this so that you could get this, but also do this so that you can maintain the present day. Does that make sense? Like, it's just so important to have the duality of like working with your analytical side, but also embracing your creative side and just kind of figuring out like how you can make that work for you. It's different for everybody. What works for me may not work for you. But if you are a creative person, figure it out because Rihanna wouldn't be Rihanna if she didn't pour into her interest and her passion. She's from Barbados. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because somebody has reached this ultimate feat doesn't mean that you are any less than capable of achieving that for yourself as well. I'm shooting for the stars. I've always said that I want to be a billionaire. I've always said that I want to be the person, that's making the big bucks. But I realize now, let me really preface this. When I was younger, I wanted to be a billionaire because I wanted the house on the hill. I wanted a mansion. I wanted the nice cars. I wanted those materialistic items. I realize now that I've lived a lot of life and I've had a lot of experiences that I want to be that billionaire so that I can have a family that doesn't have to worry about anything, a roof over my head and my seven's head, a more money to invest and to help the people around me. I don't need the biggest house. I just want something that's comfortable, that gives me space to do the things that I'm passionate about and be able to take care of myself without having to really worry or go outside of myself for that. That is what I'm attracting. And I'm really starting to realize how important it is to just have so much gratitude for the things that you're experiencing and reflect on it in this way. Because when people ask me questions about where I've arrived, because even for example, I was on LeBron James' story this week, and that was huge for me. And it's crazy. And just short story. So 3 years ago, my friend Jamie reached out to me to do sound healing and Reiki for an event that her friend Candace, now my friend Candace, was having for her eyelashes. That turned into, fast forward, 3 years later, an incredible job opportunity. The event planner for Candace's event remembered me, we kept in contact, and we would talk here and there on social media. 3 years later, she hires me for an event at Coachella. Little does she know, a year ago, I worked for American Express at Coachella doing hair, and it was a great experience, but learned a lot. This last year, I've really been focusing on manifesting going back to Coachella for Beaming by Brit. I wanted to be in the desert, being a part of all the brand activations, but as a sound healer. Boop, boop, boop. 3 days before I get to Coachella, I am there. I am the sound healer for Los Lobos in collaboration with Tao Group, and it's for LeBron James liquor brand. And I was so in my element. I brought my best friend Riley down because I knew she had a lot to do within her influencing job, and we made the most out of it. We slept in our car. That's a whole other story for another day. And it was magnificent. And now I get to go back for weekend 2, and I was on LeBron James' story. Like, I'm just really out here doing things, and going from doing things for free to now people honoring my rate, being comfortable enough to negotiate so that it's good for them and good for me and comfortable for everybody, is just such a moment in time. And it's all because of the hard work, the discipline, and the gratitude. Let me tell you how far gratitude goes. Sitting in the present moment, envisioning who I want to be, embracing my higher self, knowing that she is here, that she is in this moment, and really embodying it has just really shaped the last 3 years of my life. And don't get me wrong, there has been heartache, there has been struggles, there has been a lot within that, a lot of moving around. But one thing that has been steady is my vision, my dreams, my goals for self. Now, could they get a little bit clearer? Could they get a little bit more? Yes, but I have been so dedicated on my life's path and knowing what my mission is and what I'm passionate about and how I want to help people. Like, geez Louise, it's overwhelming, really, when I think about it, because when I first started this work, it was so hard for me to have people pay for it. Like, the amount of discounts I gave. And I don't regret them. I would do them again because I was in a learning phase. I was still figuring out what I was doing, and I didn't even realize at the time how purposeful that was, because I was just grateful to be in any room. I realized that I've been blessed with such a beautiful community of individuals. Like, genuinely, my network is so strong. And it's just because I got to a place in life where I was just a sponge. I wanted to learn, I wanted to absorb everything around me. I was super observational. I made sure to maintain my relationships and and really nurture them and invest in them just as much as they were taking a whim on me, When you're hiring a sound healer, you don't know what's going to go on within that. Like, I could be a weirdo, you know what I mean? Like, I've had interesting experiences within the healing community. So I always looked at anybody hiring me as like a huge, huge blessing. And whether that be a high influential person or just helping out the average client or the person coming to me, I was just happy to do this work. Like, genuinely, it was really hard for me to charge people for it in the beginning because it's my passion. It's the thing that has shaped who I am as a person, that has got me to this point today. I said it in one of my last episodes. I got to a point where I didn't even know if I was going to make it to 25 because my trauma and my negative rooted emotions, my negative part of my inner emotional jungle, felt like it was going to take me out. So to be sitting here at 28 experiencing the full totality of a lot of my investments, it's like, I can't. It's invigorating. It's like an amplifying moment in time because I've worked so hard to get here, and I'm just so proud of my commitment, my discernment, my just everything. I've just been so focused and not letting anything deter me from my path, and it's just so beautiful. And I say that all to say that it's just super important to sit in gratitude for the present moment when you find something that you're happy with, that you're passionate about. Just keep going, because doing the next right thing, taking it back to the main point, literally the name of this episode, doing the next right thing is invigorating to the spirit because it's you making a choice to choose a more positive path. Okay. I think we might have talked about doing the next right thing in one of the other episodes, but I wanted to preface it within this one because it's tried and true. Doing the next right thing while I was exploring all my creative passions is literally what got me to where I'm at today. Doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, failing here, succeeding here, learning here, making mistakes here. Like, geez Louise, the list goes on. If you don't take the time to just really understand things to the fullest extent for you, you're going to end up at that 9 to 5 behind that desk, just trying to make ends meet. And, one thing about life is meaningful. Life is purposeful. It's supposed to feel abundant. It's supposed to feel limitless and free. And why would you spend your time just chasing the bag to make the bills? Like, chase the bag so that you can feel limitless and free to pay the bills. Okay. That's how I want to work. That's what I want to clock in for. I don't want to clock in to work for the person that is making the millions. I want to be the person making the millions, and that's my choice, and how you want to live your life is how you want to live your life, but this is how I wanted to live mine. And man, even just like, for example, the apartment complex that I'm working at, and this isn't a moment of gloating, it's just to show you like how far being a good person and sitting in gratitude can go. I got the job for my apartment complex that I do a lot of sound baths at because of the security guard that worked at an apartment complex that I lived at for 3 months. I would not be at that apartment complex if it wasn't for that person. Like, shout out Rob, okay? Rob, Figueroa 8. That guy, okay? Like, and he's continued to put me on at that place. Like, geez Louise, like, just being nice to people. And you know what's so funny? Rob, he was a security guard. Everybody in the building at Hope and Flower would kind of just like say hi to Rob, and I would just notice it, and he would help me. He would like buzz my clients out for free because it would like be $20 to park in that garage, and they were only there for about an hour and a half. So he would let them out, all the things. And one day I was going to eat with my friend Riley, and I offered to get him a burger. I knew he was sitting there. He was probably hungry, so I brought him back. Just doing random acts of kindness, not with anything, no intention behind it. Like, I just genuinely thought that he could be hungry, and look, like, now he's requesting that I am the sound healer for a major building that he works at. It's not even the same building I met him at. Like, it's just crazy when you do random acts of kindness, when you're sitting in gratitude, when you're living a more mindful and intentional life. Like, the universe sees that. The essence of God, universe, faith, whatever you believe, it picks up on good energy and living a really purposeful life. And I finally understand the 4 agreements to the fullest extent, like always doing your best, being impeccable with your word, don't take anything personal, and don't create expectation. Just live in the now, embrace the present moment, and you will feel the evolution of your choices. And it's such a beautiful journey, especially when you're passionate about it, because it feels so good when those blessings start to come to the forefront. And I just say that all to say, finding what brings you fulfillment is the meaning of life. Life isn't supposed to be something outside of you. It's is you. You are life. You are pure source. You are pure connection to the being of you. And it's so important to embrace that and really figure it out for yourself within your interests and what makes you unique. I was just telling somebody over the weekend, cheetahs, they are animal print for a reason. They have a beautiful coat, but you want to know one thing about cheetahs? Not one coat is the same. Every cheetah has a different pattern, and I have embraced cheetah print since I was a cheetah gal. So, like ain't nobody could be this and ain't nobody could be you. There's no such thing as copy paste, okay? Your unique creative contribution to this world is meaningful, it's important, and find it, because let me tell you, it is so worth it. I could leave this earth tomorrow, and I am so happy and fulfilled with the relationships that I've nourished, the things that I've experienced, and the fulfillment I've found by really finding my passion and just diving full head first into it, no matter where it's going to go for me. And it's helped a lot of people. Helped my relationships with my family and has made me the person that I am today. And I am just so excited for that next thing, because I finally know that I fully understand the meaning of doing the next right thing. So I hope this episode finds you. I hope you're finding love within these episodes. I deeply apologize for not making it last week. You don't even know how bad that wounded me, my little 14 subscribers. It wounded me so deeply, because I really want to make sure that this is alive and that it's fluid and consistent. I just genuinely got to a point where I had so much on my plate, and I lost my voice at Coachella. I think today is actually the first day that it's come back to life. Still a little raspy, but it's getting there. So I just want you guys to know, whoever is watching this is for you. This is such a love message. This all comes from my heart. And I'm just so grateful to be here. The Beaming Podcast. We're back. I will really try my best to always show up every Monday. And if I don't, I will give you the deepest loving channel and download ever in the following episode. I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Message me. You know where to find me. I am the most active on Instagram for show. So DM me on there, or you could reach out to me by my cell phone as well. I'll leave all the information in the caption below. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, from Seven and I, namaste.